Welcome to another broadcast of the Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Thursday mornings at 9:30 at the Lorain County Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and as always, you are invited to attend.
Okay, would you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Right on top of your computer stand. Thank you. That's why we have you as the clerk, so you know where everything is. We have him all dressed up so nice with his little purple scarf. He says, "What is this place? Come on, come here.
Scared.
Come here. I have a picture of him. If you can see this, they put a red hat on him. Poor guy. This week's featured cat at the Lorain County Dog Kennel is a male Karen Terrier mix. He was picked up in Lorain. He's scared. He is eligible for adoption on Saturday, March 8th at 3 p.m., and he is in cage 75. Come on over here. Come on over here where everybody can see. Oh, son, I'm not going anyplace. He said, I'm not going anyplace with you. Oh, please, you think that would do it? He was talking to Lori before. He was wagging his tail. Look at that pretty purple scarf they've put on him. He's looking for a home. Doesn't have an age here. It's a pretty dog. How? Do you know? About 2 years old. He says, come and rescue me from that place. Okay? Stop by our dog kennel and see what we have available. Good morning and welcome to our March 6th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. A thought for today: the best antique is an old friend. We have a proclamation for March Awareness Month for the Mental Retardation and Developmental Disabilities Month. Amber Fisher is here together with many people. If you want to come on down, Amber. Whereas Murray Ridge Center recently celebrated its 40th year of providing services to Lorain County children and adults with mental retardation and their families, and whereas 623 infants and toddlers with suspected developmental delays received early intervention services, and whereas 233 students with mental retardation and developmental disabilities received educational services in early childhood, primary, intermediate, and senior classes at Murray Ridge School, and whereas 1,000 plus adults with mental retardation and developmental disabilities are given training and work experience in 3 workshops and several community enclaves operated by the Murray Ridge Production Center or in competitive employment spots. And whereas residential options are available to 57 individuals with mental retardation and developmental disabilities living in Murray Ridge operated group homes, to 84 individuals with mental retardation and developmental disabilities living in homes maintained by the Murray Ridge Housing Corporation created by that board, and to 136 individuals with mental retardation and developmental disabilities who receive Murray Ridge administered services in residential facilities, foster care settings, apartments, or with their families. And whereas participation is encouraged in local, regional, state, national, international Special Olympic activities to provide recreation and competition experiences to more than 265 children and adults from Lorain County eligible to participate. And whereas a recreation program provides recreation and socialization opportunities for adults with mental retardation working in the community, and whereas assistance that will permit families to care for a family member with mental retardation or a developmental disability in their home is made available to 599 individuals through the Family Support Program. And whereas Murray Ridge Center staff network with social service, health, and welfare agencies to enrich the environment of children with developmental disabilities and to fund appropriate residential services for individuals with mental retardation placed on a waiting list. And whereas the Lorain County Board of Mental Retardation and Developmental Disabilities oversees funds from federal, state, and local sources to provide comprehensive services to Lorain County individuals with mental retardation and developmental disabilities and their families. And after all that, now therefore, we, Betty Blair, Lori Kokoski, and Ted Galo, members of the Board of Lorain County Commissioners, do hereby recognize the Lorain County Board of Mental Retardation and Developmental Disabilities and declare the month of March 2008 as Mental Retardation and Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month in honor of the sizable contribution made to the welfare of Lorain County children and adults with special needs. And congratulations on the overwhelming success of your levy on Tuesday's ballot.
Well, thank you very much. I'd like to thank Commissioners Blair, Kalo, and Kikowski for recognizing March as Mental Retardation Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. And I think the recent passage of Issue 13 is a testament to the fact that our community is very aware of and appreciative of the special needs of more than 2,000 fellow citizens with MRDD. We at Murray Ridge recently celebrated 40 years of serving our community and recently received a 4-year accreditation from the Ohio Department of MRDD, which is the highest level of accreditation that an MRDD agency can receive for compliance with all of the various rules and regulations. But March is about celebrating the people that we serve. So without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to a couple of friends of mine who would like to say a few words. And we have with us here today Stephen from Murray Ridge School. Stephen?
Thank you. Do you want to give this in the microphone?
Thank you, everyone, for all your support.
Nice job, Stephen. Thank you. And next we have with us Terry, who participates in our adult work activity program and also serves on our behavior support committee. Terry?
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate coming here. I love my job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you want to do a picture?
Next, we have a presentation from Eric Norenberg, the new city manager from the city of Oberlin. Good morning, Eric.
Morning, Eric.
Good morning. Thank you, Commissioners. Last week at the Ohio City County Management Association Winter Conference, the association presented awards to recognize outstanding efforts in promoting excellence in local government. OCMA's annual awards program honors communities and their administrators for creative contributions to professional local government management. The annual awards for 2008 honor local governments and their programs and leaders that demonstrated the best in leadership and practice. The program also seeks to increase public awareness of the professional value of local government management, recognizing outstanding work performed by elected officials, appointed managers, local government staff, and the citizens who work together to address the most pressing issues facing today's communities. OCMA members, as well as public officials, were asked to nominate programs worthy of recognition. The competition's panel of judges used their combined experience and expertise to evaluate programs to select this year's winners with respect to scope, importance, and value of the activity or contribution, effectiveness measures, and quality of performance. This year's Ohio City County Management Association Annual Award for Intergovernmental Cooperation goes to Lorain County Growth Partnership. The nomination was submitted by Peggy, and I'll read a few excerpts from that. The Lorain County Commissioners face challenges in unifying the various economic development efforts within the county to avoid redundancy of services and to ensure that all parties deliver the same message to businesses looking to expand or relocate in the county. Jurisdictions, nonprofit agencies, and private sector, workforce development organizations, and the educational community were all involved in some aspect of economic development. Simplifying and streamlining the application and site selection process would enable a company to progress through the decision-making process more quickly. By avoiding duplication of services, the partnership has contained costs for the partners and interested companies. The Lorain County Growth Partnership guarantees confidentiality and assembles a custom-designed real team to address the company's needs and concerns. Team members are drawn from all sectors of the partnership and are able to communicate by threading through a password-protected pages on the website for the county partnership. It's www.lcgp.net. The partnership does not have a director. Rather, it is a collaboration-based organization, and businesses interested in relocating or expanding benefit from the quick and comprehensive response. In opening lines of communication, the partnership provides the venue for collaboration and consensus building that benefits all concerned. OCMA was also proud to award others at the conference, including Paul Feldman, Assistant City Manager of Worthington, Ohio, for his work in career development and mentoring, the cities of Vandalia, Tip City, and the Northern Area Water Authority for innovation in local government management, and the City of Upper Arlington's Parks and Recreation Strategic Plan for citizen participation. So I'm proud to present to you, Betty, Ted, and Lori, the annual award for local intergovernmental cooperation. Thank you.
Wow.
Commissioners, we have some of our partners here. We have Team Lorain County here. Why don't you guys come up? We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have the college. I think JVS is here also. These are some of our partners along with you in the Growth Partnership, and I think that everybody deserves recognition for this award, and I'd like you guys to all step out so we can get some pictures together.
And I want to thank Peggy for submitting the application, and you, Eric, for delivering it to us.
Happy to do that.
Have I missed any of the partners? Has anybody? I think these are the big 4 or 5 here represented, so. Congratulations, Commissioners, and to our partners. Does anybody want to say anything from our partners before you all leave? Frank, you don't have any words? You don't have any words of wisdom, Frank?
Now that you forced me to speaking. Yeah, I think that I would like to just echo the comments with regards to the collaboration that's going on here. I think that, you know, the more that the real teams and the partnerships work together, the tighter and the more consistent our approaches are to economic development. And I think that the more we work together, the more we rely on each other to support success. So as we continue to move down the road in 2008 and beyond, I think that the Growth Partnership will certainly become a beacon for success in Lorain County.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Frank.
Steve, did you want to say something? Sure. Come on down from Team Lorain County. We had to get up at 7:30 yesterday morning for a meeting, so you ought to give us a few
And I
words.
thank you very much for coming. It's much appreciated. I would just like to echo Frank's sentiments. I mean, this is really a great acknowledgement, and the different things that we've seen with Team Lorain County throughout the state and throughout the region is how we're really taking a leadership role with the Lorain County Growth Partnership and the Real Team process, and getting all the partners to work together so that everyone knows how the system works, and we're really generating a lot of activity. So it's a good time to be here, and there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Jim? Peggy, come on. We only get a chance to talk about the good work you guys are all doing once in a while.
Well, I know I can speak for our President Roy Church and Marcia Ballinger in saying that we truly are delighted to be a partner in the Growth Partnership. And it's really, from my perspective, it's enabled me to be much more effective in doing carrying out the responsibilities I have with the Entrepreneurship Innovation Institute, and also as the interim director of the Workforce Institute, assisting the county workforce development agency and managing the one-stop, the workforce incumbent training program, and et cetera. So it's been, it's also been a boon to partnering with the JVS and the Adult Career Center, which is one of our collaborative goals for right now. So it's a very positive experience. So thank you for the opportunity
Thank
to
you,
say.
Dr. Shanahan. Peggy?
Hello. Thank you. I would just like to say that I truly agree with the others in that this is a real model for the state. And it is a model because of all of you and all of us being able to take the time and work together in a leadership capacity. And so I'm proud to be a member of the Growth Partnership representing the JVS.
Thank you so much, Peggy. And just a little P.S. And a reminder for some who might not have heard this, that Team NEO did a report last year, and they created about 1,500 jobs in about a 16-county region. And of those 1,500 jobs, 1,000 of them came from Lorain County.
We're doing
So,
something right.
It really works. Thank you all for coming this morning. We appreciate your input and your participation and all the good things that you give to us. Thank you, Eric. Okay, I think now we can have the regular agenda, Madam Clerk.
Under Resolutions Number 1, Job and Family Services Bills.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Investments.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Appropriations.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Comment before we vote. I believe we're appropriating to the tune of approximately $726,000 in worker comp money, and I would like you to comment on that, Mr. Cortez.
Well, unfortunately, due to increases in premium and what I would call a minor amount of growth in personnel costs, because we've been trying to keep that down for a number of years, workers' comp has continued to go up, and we haven't continued to increase those line items, and the departments are struggling to move money around. In years gone by, some of the departments have been capable of transferring funds from different line items, but have suffered through that process and had to put off much needed purchases in other areas. Most of the departments just don't have the funds to do this anymore. And so I informed the board over the last 2 weeks that we had an issue with the workers' comp, and the board said that we need to bring some more balance to that issue and wanted to make sure that we were able to meet the obligations of our workers' comp cost. And unfortunately for the general fund, that cost us roughly $260,000 that the departments would have needed to find somewhere within their line items, and there just isn't that much left to squeeze out of the rock anymore for most of these places. So that's what the transfer is about. Everybody's seeing increase in these costs, and we haven't increased workers' comp in a number of years in the line items since the costs have been going up. With that, I don't want anybody to misunderstand that we are aggressively working our workers' comp program. We're in every discount program, every safety program, every drug program. They roll it out and we're standing at the door for a discount. So we are aggressively managing our workers' comp, and it's not out of control, but costs are still going up. The cost of providing health insurance, as everybody knows, has increased, and workers' comp, the biggest cost in workers' comp is health-related services. So all you have to do is look at the cost of health care, and you can see that workers' comp is naturally going to follow trend with the healthcare industry because that's the biggest cost, and it's gone up. I wouldn't say significant, but it's growing at a faster pace than most other things in our budget, so we need to take care of that.
So the 726 that I referred to, 726,000, was the obligation for the entire year 2007. The shortfall, as you mentioned, was $260,423.70.
That's accurate, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Are there any comments?
No.
Madam
Ms.
Clerk?
Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Transfers?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
There are no advances, no repayments, requisitions.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I want to call your attention to number 543-08. There's a $18,000 blanket purchase order for Higgins Pharmacy in Amherst, which I think we all know is now closed. So I don't know if we want to scratch that one off.
Is that the one from the Sheriff's Department?
Yes.
Probably.
Is Higgins still open over in Lorain?
I don't think
No.
so.
There's only Higgins and Emerson. I think they
We-
were bought out by Walgreens or Rite Aid. Somebody bought out their business.
Well,
Yeah.
can we put a hold on that? They may have, somebody may have success on that, or we may owe some bills. What we had set up with the jail, we set up a few years ago to decrease our prescription drug costs was, we were working with Higgins, and they would bubble wrap just the amount of prescription pills that we needed, and then they would also take them back if they were unopened. So we reduced a lot of costs because we didn't have a lot of on-shelf prescription meds that were going to waste. So we may have some bills in the queue that we still need to take care of, and that may be what that PO will take care of. So I like
This is
to,
for April through June.
Right.
of this year.
Yes.
Again, it depends on how much stuff is in the queue, whether we still may owe some bills. I'll check
Okay.
on that.
Just check on it, because we
Okay,
may not,
please.
I think they moved everything over to CVS Pharmacy,
Okay.
Is that
so.
who bought them out, CVS?
Sherry? Rite Aid.
Rite Aid.
Rite Aid.
I'll check on it for next week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Travel expenses?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Bills?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Mr. Cordez?
Thank you, Madam President. I do have a number of personnel issues, both at the county home and at Job and Family Services, potential new hires. I also have one or two matters of ongoing labor negotiations that I wish to discuss, in addition to potential purchase of real estate. All of these issues are allowable under the Sunshine Law, so I would ask that we move into executive session at the conclusion of our regular board business today. Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the same for Lorain County Board of Commissioners meeting minutes for January 24th, February 21st, and February 28th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Number 11 is going to be placed on hold for further clarification for next week or the week after.
Okay.
Number 12, under Community Development, instruct the clerk to advertise notice in the Chronicle Telegram, non-legal section to fulfill the requirements for the environmental review record for FY07 CDBG formula program to be paid for account advertising printing.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Award contract to SM Fox Construction, Inc., Illyria, in the amount of $30,500 for the ADA restrooms in the East Carlisle Township Building to be paid from the CDBG Formula Grant Account. Issue notice to proceed letter on or before March 6th and to be completed on or before June 30th. Authorize county administrator to notify the county auditor to release retainage at completion of project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Under Workforce Development, approve and enter into various contracts on behalf of Lorain County Workforce Development Agency for vendor training with incumbent workers' monies. Authorize county administrator to execute on behalf of the board with prosecutors' approval as to form for one Gateway Industrial Products, Inc., Illyria, in the amount of $6,468.05, and KS Associates, Inc., Illyria, in the amount of $19,266.75.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Commissioners, we do have a few people here to,
Let's vote on this. This is part of it.
okay, I was just thought maybe we'd do it under discussion. I apologize,
We can
ma'am.
do
We haven't got
discussion
that far.
first, no?
Is it part of the workforce development?
Yes,
Yes.
that's
I'm
good.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Apologize.
Okay. Okay, Vivian, I know you get nervous in front
No,
of
I
the
don't,
podium.
no, I don't, no,
Okay.
I don't. Good morning, Commissioners, how are
Morning,
you?
Vivian.
Morning, Vivian.
I'd like to introduce you to Don Graves. He's been working with us, he's a workforce development consultant, and I'd like to introduce, and Don's going to talk about the companies, and we do have Gateway Industries here this morning. They'll touch a little bit on the visit that Don has had with them, and I'll turn it over to you, Don.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, Commissioners and members of the board. As Vivian mentioned, I'm the Workforce and Economic Development Specialist with the Workforce Institute of Lorain County. I've been working on the Project 10 program now for the 3 months that I've been on, and we've actually had a very successful 3 months with the program. We've had roughly over 31 inquiries, and the 2 that are before you today are 2 of the most recent ones that have come through and gotten approved via the Leadership Committee. Gateway Industrial Products and KS Associates are both companies located within Elyria that are looking to do incumbent worker training for their existing workforce to take them to the next level and allow them to be more competitive within the market. So at this time, I'd like to call up Gateway Industrial Products representatives, and it's the representative from KS Associates here. If you could join us as well. Allow you to introduce yourselves.
My name is Gail Delaporte. I'm with Gateway Industrial Products. This is Jen McGrath. Gateway is a 10-year-old company. We started with 2 people in Elyria. We are now up to 12 people. We really appreciate this money because it gives us a chance of training our workers that we normally wouldn't have the money for or just the time for. So this is really a fantastic thing for us. Thank you.
Good. Welcome.
I would also like to say that Don Graves has been absolutely wonderful during the entire process, and also Julie Cantrell from LCC and Diana Gott from JVS were wonderful. They came out and helped us through the whole application process and what to expect, and they were just, I can't say enough about them. They were great. Great.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you. I'm Mark Skellinger, Vice President of KS Associates. We really appreciate this investment in training. As many of you know, a good deal of our workforce is involved in the housing market, and we're struggling right now. And after 20 years of growth, we're facing some significant slippage. So this investment in training will help us retool and possibly go after some different markets and new markets until the housing market comes back to life. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Commissioner,
Best program we have.
And I'd like to have a little dialogue here with you on Project 10. The award recipients, you can sit if you want, but I want to have Don and Vivian stay at the podium. We finally have Project 10, banging on all cylinders. I mean, it's really, really working well now, and that goes back to this award because it was an outcrop of a real team when we first started this over a year ago, and we had some ups and downs, but we really got the program moving now, and with our partners at JVS and the college and the commission is putting money into advertising, and our partners at the Chronicle and at the Journal doubling up that advertising on a 2-for-1 with us. We had the public-private, we had the media, we had the nonprofit. Everybody was really making this work, and the program is really seeing successes, but we've run into some problems.
That was my next question, Mr. Cortez. I saw the memo you sent.
Yes, sir.
What's going on at the state and federal level?
Never underestimate people to get in the way of something good. Right now, two things have occurred, and the positive. There's a positive outcome from that too. But the first thing that's occurred is the state is possibly moving in a different direction with regard to incumbent worker training. We're not completely sure yet what they're doing. But on Friday afternoon, your team, which includes these fine folks, the college, JVS, we're all having a conference call into the state at a high level. We've already overnighted our materials on Project 10, our successes, testimonials, everything that we've done, indicating to them that they should, slow down a little bit, take a look at this, and they may want to put a program like this together as a statewide model. Hopefully they'll take input from that and or continue to allow us to do our program here, because we are now have a proven track record with regard to the outcomes that we're producing. So I don't know how that conversation is going to go, but there's very many people involved, and we're going to press our point. I will brief you on that after those conversations take place. The second thing that has been done that's a bit of a disadvantage to us is that we recently received some email guidance, so I'm not giving it a particular concern yet because we don't see a regulation that indicates that the use of benefits, facilities, wages is no longer going to be accepted as a match to our 50% money that we have. By doing that with the companies, we've been able to actually pay for 100% of the training because they're already paying their employees and they're picking up the cost of a lot of times facilities and equipment and things like that. So now the federal government's coming back out of Chicago and indicating that they're tightly and narrowly reading the language in the regulation to say cash match. Now, I've read it and it doesn't say that. So we're going to press our point with them next, but first we want to see what the state's going to do. There's no sense taking that fight on if the state's going to move in a different direction. We're not going to have Project 10. If we're successful at the state level in convincing them to allow us to continue and or seeing that their program may very well not prohibit what we're doing here. We just don't have all those answers. If we're successful there, we still have another hurdle to overcome with the federal government, and we're going to continue to press our case there. Again, our partners are here, JVS and the college is here, and we've met many times on this in the last couple of weeks. We have our teams going, but I want you to know that we may be running into a barrier here, and it's unfortunate because the program is now really, really producing successes. Don's with the Workforce Institute, but Don also reports jointly to Jim Shanahan and Vivian in his role. We've been able to gel the relationships, get the cooperation going, put people on the deck plate, really make things happen. And I would be very, very saddened if we're not able to convince the state and then the federal government that we got something really powerful here that works. So I just want to let you know, because I know you're out there touting the program in the community and talking to businesses, that we may run into some things that prevent us from continuing forward in the manner that we're doing right now. And at the appropriate time, I will be asking for your written support if we have to go to a different level to press the case. I don't want to go too high with it yet because I don't want to aggravate people in that process, but we may need a high level of intervention at some point. So I will be keeping you very, very informed on that progress.
It would be a shame to lose that program for 2 years of work to chase those dollars and get them drug up here, and it's working, and they take it away from us. I love the state legislature at times.
Well, would our partners from the Chamber, the College, or JBS like to add anything to what I just said about what's going on with the process? Well, we got a big job to do on Friday, so I'll see you all at that conference call on Friday, and I will report back to the board thereafter. Lorain County is developing models that are going to get looked at statewide. We really have our game together here in many, many areas, and sometimes we don't even realize how good our work is. And so I hope that the state will at least look at Project 10 and give us a nod, and then take some leads from us for a change of what's working. One of their initiatives will remove local decision-making on encumbered dollars. The way we read it, it will centralize it at the state, and they're going to have their own people doing this, and anything we want to do with incumbent worker right now under the guidance we're seeing, and it's not completely formulated guidance yet, but it is a thinking process that we will have to submit incumbent worker training materials. They'll have their own reps. We'll have to submit it back. They'll tell us if we can do it. Then it'll come back to
more red tape.
It'll be a
Slow the process
bureaucratic
down. Yeah.
nightmare.
When you hang up the phone, call me immediately. I'll get on the phone.
Okay.
I mean, this project, we've worked hard to put together, and it's actually working. For them to make those type of decisions because other counties aren't following through on bringing the money up, and we are to get penalized for that is just ridiculous. I mean,
well, I think because there's so many different
hard.
changes that are taking place down at the state level, they have too many different changes trying to take place without it being, very clear to us, so that we have a defined guideline. But actually, it's working for us, and to end up changing that and not defining it for every county is really a problem for us.
Could we offer our help to them in setting this program up statewide?
Well, I would say probably so, Commissioner, but part of the problem is we just need some clarification, and it shouldn't really be changed. And maybe, some things won't change that it will affect our program. But I think we need to, as Mr. Cortez said, we need to, react to it before something is put in place, and then we can't do anything about it.
You can see that we're moving aggressively. Local decision-making needs to take place in these issues. You, as the Board of Commissioners, and us, as your administrators, are staying in touch with our community. We know what works in our community, and we have we have the ear of the business community, we have the collaborations, and it's taken years to put them into place, and to decentralize this back at the state level and go through all that, people will walk away from this program. What businesses need is fast responses, fast answers, and they need to be dealing with the people that they're comfortable with here, rather than waiting weeks and months for outcomes and results. So we're going to continue to press that case, and thank you for reading that memo so quickly, Commissioner. It only went out yesterday, so.
So I wasn't here in the afternoon, but I read it first thing this morning. I was bringing it up from the floor today, actually, so I brought it out here. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Cortez, County Administrator?
Thank you, and thank you for letting us talk to you about Project 10 and do it out here in the hearing room so we get some support. Commissioners, another award for your Lorain County Growth Partnership and your partners. Congratulations on that. I will tell you that we're developing some new and interesting and intriguing initiatives that we're going to bring forward from the Growth Partnership for you to take a look at and gain your support for. We do meet regularly, a bunch of us, and talk about how we can bring up new initiatives, how we can continue to collaborate. And we met the other day, and we'll have some exciting news for you and some new initiatives that we want to present to you probably in April or March. I will tell you that there's a number of real teams going on right now, and there's a lot of exciting happenings with regard to continuing to achieve the same successes that you supported last year. It's already been a great year. We're only 2 months in, and we're seeing a lot of activity. I also want to congratulate the two commissioners on their success in their recent primary. It was nice to see that the voters decided that you deserved another look, because you've done a great job in the last couple of years, and I just want to congratulate you on that, and also want to thank Tom Kelly for his work down at the Board of Elections. We had quite an event, having to go out in the snowstorm and deal with that, but everybody pitched in, and we had a great cooperative effort, and we were able to make sure that Lorain had another successful election this year. So it was nice to see. I was down at the Board of Elections. It was nice to see everybody making the process work and getting in the game. With that, I'll just remind you about the executive session I requested at the conclusion of business. Thank you.
Mr. Ennis, Assistant County Prosecutor?
I don't have anything to report this morning, Commissioners.
All right.
Not getting sued today?
Commissioners report.
All three commissioners and Mr. Cortez attended Vision 2015 at Lorain County Community College last Thursday. We spent a couple hours talking about how leadership and the college can get together to help promote economic development in Lorain County. It was a very good session, and I'd like to thank all the voters for trudging out in that weather on Tuesday to get out there and vote, not only for Ted and I, but also for our 911. It's very important that that issue passed also, so thank you for that. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, the visioning board session was very nice, a lot of good dialogue going on. Also, congratulations to everyone. The endorsed presidential candidate won. That was very nice, right, Commissioners?
That's right.
Amen.
Along with your Board of Commissioners. Congratulations to everyone, and for those who weren't as successful, you're welcome back anytime. Everyone ran very nice campaigns. So, thank you very much, Commissioner.
I just, to piggyback on Mr. Cortez's comments about Tom Kelly and EMA, I want to thank Tom's voice for waking me up last night while I was half asleep watching television. It's a wonderful alert system that we have in Lorain County, because there is a boil alert in Columbia Township and Olmsted, one of the communities in Cuyahoga County that receive their water from rural water, and they have a boil alert. And I was half awake and half asleep watching a TV program, and all of a sudden I heard Tom Kelly's voice in my bedroom. So it really works when we need it to, so I thank you, Tom. Madam Clerk?
Board correspondence?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Blair?
Aye.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Public comment?
Oh, they're lining up. Shirley first.
How you doing, Shirley? They said you fell today?
No, I tried to close my car door and didn't get my leg out of the way in time. I can't sue the county. It was out on the street, and it was my fault in my car.
Are you all right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just wanted to say, to thank you be sure the staff across the hall is thanked, because they all rushed to help and rose to the occasion, galvanized themselves, whatever you want to say, and did give me first aid, which I needed badly at that moment. Thank you.
Well, see, we really do care.
They did.
Well, and they work for us, Shirley.
Morning, Commissioners. David Ashenhurst, Oberlin. I would also like to say congratulations to all the candidates, congratulations to the voters, but also congratulations to the poll workers who got out there in the middle of that day. And I was encased in ice in Eastern Heights in Elyria, and the Board of Elections was sending out people to, they actually went back and forth whether they wanted us to come to them or they were going to come to us. And I was in the process of going to them, and they came to me. Not to help me get my car out, but to take the memory cards and run back to the Board of Elections and get that going. So.
Just for the record, I was out all night running with them.
Lost in Carlisle Township.
And do never call Commissioner Blair for GPS services at 11 o'clock in the morning. There was parts of this county that I've never been in, and by the time she called me back, I was home already.
Well, I called back.
But it was an interesting night, but democracy prevailed. I mean,
was wonderful.
We got it very well.
It was wonderful how it all
Well,
came
and
together.
actually, I'm up here, I'd spoken with one commissioner beforehand, just remembering that the challengers this time got more votes than the primary candidates won with in 2004. And I believe your director of the Board of Elections is going to be up here a couple of times between now and November, seeking additional funds to make this process work in November. We have a lot of work to do. Cuyahoga County has more work than we do, but we have a lot of work to do between now and then if we are going to accommodate what I believe will be a very large turnout in November. So as an advanced thing, that may be an unfunded mandate, but please put something aside.
And I heard it from the top, actually. I was with Jennifer Bruner Sunday evening, and she said there's going to be some additional changes coming down. I asked her, how much is it going to cost? And apparently they're going to let us know. So.
Right.
But our guys did do a good job. Actually, Dennis Sharver called out the troops from our guys to get them on the truck. So we get 4 or 5 trucks on the road there. And actually, there was a get-together after, and we made an announcement. We had 7 or 8 people leave the party to go out